If you are a long-time member of our channel, then you can agree with us that for a very long time we've been discussing how the majority of people who have traveled outside the US found it very satisfying, and how some of them prefer living outside the land of the free than returning back to their homeland. Now, in today's video, we'll get into the reasons behind the mass exodus of many individuals from the United States. We've curated insightful videos to navigate through topics such as the cost of living, taxes, and political climate, among others. People are expressing their viewpoints due to various socioeconomic factors. It is crucial to have this conversation to understand the implications for the nation and how relocating elsewhere may benefit individuals. If you're prepared for this dialogue, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel to become part of our electrifying community, and once you've done that, then you are ready to have this discussion. Let us begin now.
One of the biggest reasons why I am moving my family abroad is because I became a mom. Personally, I've always wanted to live abroad. But once I became a mom, I realized how important it was to get my family out of the United States. After spending almost 3 months here in Portugal, it is very apparent how little we care about our children and families in the US. Let me explain. Here in Portugal, I don't feel shame for being a mom. Meaning if my child has a breakdown in public, no one gives me the stare. Everyone is so kind and so patient. On the trains, there's designated spots for those with children. Women who are pregnant or those with children are given priority seating. I've never had to wait in line when I have my child with me. Staff at restaurants and establishments always acknowledge my daughter, and they make her part of the experience. Even though my daughter is considered a lap child on the flights, she still gets her own seatbelt connected to mine. Children are absolutely valued and cherished here. They aren't seen as a nuisance. And in many countries in Europe, paid parental leave for both parents for up to a year is normal, when most people in the US don't even have access to 12 weeks paid. Since I've been here in Portugal, I send my child to school safely. I spend time with my family. There are so many playgrounds for her to play at, and so many family-friendly activities for us to do. Since living abroad, our family has experienced so much joy, peace, and ease. It's because I became a mom.
Same. I left America when my son was 2 years old. It was obvious at that time that he had autism and was going to require some extra care. To be honest, I wasn't that impressed with my education growing up. I was an honor student, but I don't think it was that hard to be an honor student when you don't even learn the basics like evolution. I am so impressed. My son is almost 16. I am so impressed by the stuff that he knows and the stuff he has learned in school that I never learned in school. I'm very impressed, and I know I made the right decision. Also, he's not going to get shipped into school, so there's that.
I want to respond to this comment. The new American dream is to leave. I 1000% agree with this, because I moved from California to Dubai. Best decision I've made, because the American dream that we were taught as kids does not exist anymore. So for example, we were told to go to school, get a degree, buy a house. How are we going to do that today? I'm from San Francisco, and the average house in San Francisco right now is $1.2 million. Who the F can afford a $1.2 million house? And again, this is not even a beautiful house. There's gonna be homeless people probably right in front of your house. People are gonna be breaking your car. It's so dirty, it's so disgusting. It's not safe. Like, who wants to live like that? I'm sorry, I have to leave, and I'm glad I did. And to all of my Americans, do you still believe in the American dream? Comment below.
Why I chose to leave the US, and now I am living in Central Portugal. And hi, if you're new here, my name's Kara and I live and travel abroad. I wanted to leave the US because I wanted a slower pace of life. My husband and I were just really over the toxic hustle work culture of America. Last year, shortly after our daughter was born, I was working mornings and my husband was working nights, and we barely saw each other. And I specifically remember looking at him saying, it shouldn't be this hard. And I didn't have postpartum depression. It was like I had postpartum rage, because I was on TikTok and I was seeing people in other countries getting a year's worth of maternity leave. And I had to beg the company I worked for at the time to give me any time off at all, after working for them for almost 2 years. And as time went on, I saw more people on TikTok who were living and traveling abroad, and they had more flexibility. They were safe and access to good medical care that wasn't tied to their employment. So I started doing some researching. I compared countries. My husband and I saved up all the money we had so we could start traveling and living abroad. I'm running out of time. Hit the plus to fall for part 2.
This is why I'm making it a priority to get my family out of the US. And please go watch that creator's video. What's happening in the US is really scary, and a big reason why I have so much anxiety coming back to the US from Portugal. The US is a really stressful place to live, and the direction that it's heading in is incredibly concerning. These are not the morals and values I want my children to learn. I want my kids to feel safe to come to me if they are transgender. I want them to live in a country that actually cares about the earth and believes in climate change. The fact that the state that I live in is calling for actions as punishment for abortion is insane. It's why I'm making it my mission this year to scout out different countries that meet the criteria we're looking for and to get my family out of there.
Now that I left the United States, this is the main thing that I realized. The United States be bullshit. They be literally capping, they be lying, they be fabricating, they literally lie to us our whole life. Do you know, when I was in New York, in America, I used to research where to go, how to go to Thailand, how to go to Bali, how to go to all these damn countries. And do you know what I found out? All these countries are very dangerous. Don't even step foot in Thailand because you're gonna get robbed. This is the most dangerous place you're ever gonna be at. Yeah, I've been here for almost 3 to 4 months. I've been in Bangkok, I've been in Chiang Mai, I've been in Pattaya. Yeah, nobody's arguing, nobody's fighting, nobody's dangerous out here. There is nobody, nothing, zero, nada, nothing what the hell they told me that was gonna happen in America. And I came over here and it didn't happen. They're lying to us. But one problem is the news. Did you ever realize on the news, when have they ever spread positivity about somewhere? If you are watching the news and it's talking about a different country or a different place, is it good news or is it bad news? So again, if you want to continue getting brainwashed by the United States, if you want to continue listening to the news and listening to what the hell they got orchestrated over there, yeah, you're going to get brainwashed and you're going to be living in the past. I was in Brooklyn, New York. I was in America. I left America. Way much better living, but stay over there if you want.
One of the biggest reasons why I'm leaving the US is debt. The average American household carries $155,000 of debt. Currently in the US, American families owe $14.5 trillion in debt. The country second to the US is China with $10 trillion of household debt. But how did we get this way? As someone who has left their 9-to-5 to work independently, I am having to shift my mindset around money. Because before, I was making a paycheck every 2 weeks, and I planned my expenses around receiving the paycheck every 2 weeks. But now I'm changing my spending habits based on how I receive my income. So I'm often asking myself, do I need it? Does it bring me joy? And does this bring value into my life? The mentality in these is capitalism and consumption. Now, I'm not saying that people don't have debt in other countries, but I think people in other countries have a different mindset about money. Often their taxes go to things that directly benefit them, and they place experience over things.
I live and work in Spain, making roughly 1,000 euros a month, which in America is nothing, but in Spain is more than enough to live. I only work 16 hours a week, and I'm able to afford a super nice apartment in the city center of Madrid. Food costs me 20 euros a week. My electric bill is like 30 euros a month. I don't have to worry about gas or a car payment or insurance because the public transportation system is so world class that you don't even need a car at all. Madrid is like the New York of Spain, except if you were living in the city center of New York, you'd have to be making literally at least $5,000 a month, and that's extremely lowballing it. Just their way of life in general, like, is so much more relaxed and just taking time to enjoy life rather than just working constantly. They literally have a siesta in the middle of the day where they take 3 hours to go nap or go to a coffee shop to hang out with friends. Like, the American mind cannot fathom. It's just crazy to me because, like, you've been told growing up your whole life that America is the best country in the world. That's just so far from the truth. And it's like very obvious how much worse it is now.
Now that we've seen those videos, the reactions are not pretty, and it makes you wonder whether the powers that be are aware of such a situation. And if they are aware, what measures are they putting in place to be able to prevent this? Now, for a very long time, a lot of Americans have been airing out their perspectives on why the cost of living is so high in the US, and they've been complaining about it. And this is the time we're seeing them taking action. Now, this action can have long-lasting implications on the nation, as we've seen a lot of great nations in history being very affected because of its citizens migrating to other states. For quite some time on our channel, we are focused on analyzing political issues on the land of the free and socio-economic systems, particularly addressing concerns voiced by individuals who've spent most of their lives in the US. It is essential to engage in these discussions to comprehend the factors influencing a nation. Whether positively or negatively, many individuals are deeply worried about their welfare and the condition of various aspects in America, such as taxes, cost of living, and political landscape. With that in mind, let us begin the exploration of these topics and other socio-economic issues impacting a significant portion of the US population. Now, let's look at taxes. Taxes can have a profound impact on individuals' families and lives. High tax burdens can erode disposable income, limit financial flexibility, and even hinder economic opportunities. In the land of the free, the complexity of the tax system, coupled with high tax rates, can leave many feeling overwhelmed and financially strained. Every year, it feels like people are navigating a maze just to file taxes. Comparisons with other countries reveal stark differences. Some nations boast lower tax rates and simpler tax systems, offering a more attractive environment for individuals seeking financial relief. As the satisfaction with the tax system in the land of the free grows, more and more individuals are considering the option of expatriation, seeking greener pastures where taxes are less burdening. Let's also look at the cost of living, an ever-present reality that shapes our daily lives. Now, in the US, the affordability of basic necessities has become a pressing concern for many, driving a growing number of individuals to explore options behind its borders. The cost of living in the US has been steadily rising, outpacing wage growth and putting a strain on household budgets. From housing to healthcare, the expenses can be overwhelming for many families. Housing costs, in particular, have skyrocketed in many urban areas, making home ownership an elusive dream for countless Americans. Coupled with exorbitant healthcare expenses and rising prices at a grocery store, the financial strain becomes all too real. Now, comparing this to other countries reveals a striking difference. In many countries, the cost of living is significantly lower, allowing individuals to stretch their dollars further and enjoying a higher standard of living. As the cost of living continues to rise in the land of the free, more and more individuals are exploring alternative options abroad. Now, we've done some videos covering how a lot of Western travelers are traveling to countries even here in Africa because of the cheaper cost of living. And the only question that lingers on our minds now is whether the government is gonna come in and address this issue, because these are their citizens, and such a mass exodus can have great impact on the landscape of their countries. Now, if they are not gonna address this issue, what is gonna happen to the geographical landscape of these countries where these people are coming from? Now, when it comes to the political landscape, in previous videos, we've seen how politicians like Jeff Jackson were not standing in line with the people, especially on the issue to do with the TikTok ban. We saw how many people were complaining about this as it was going to affect their lives, and now it is affecting their lives. And because the majority of politicians don't seem to be aligned with the people's views, people feel they are not being heard. It's that thing whereby they have been serving, but they don't feel being served. They have been listening, but they don't feel being heard. And we also saw politicians like Nancy Pelosi also saying they want to make TikTok better, even when the people say they like the present version of it. And no matter how much people air out their own opinions, they seem not to be heard by the state. So this could also be a call to action for them. Now, the other thing that is contributing to this mass exodus is the work culture in the land of the free. And we've seen from the reaction videos that despite pouring countless hours into their jobs, there's a prevailing sense of inadequacy and never feeling truly fulfilled. And with that, they can't even see their family members some days or weeks. And American salaries may appear higher, the quality of life and purchasing power can be lower compared to countries like Portugal, where individuals enjoy a more balanced lifestyle with sufficient compensation. And the other thing that I want to talk about is social media. Now, social media serves as a powerful platform that not only amplifies voices but also illuminates previously overlooked challenges. It has shattered misconceptions, particularly regarding economic disparities, by revealing the struggles faced by Americans in comparison to citizens of other nations, once deemed less prosperous. Given these circumstances, many individuals are choosing to leave their birth country due to feeling undeserved and unheard despite their contributions. This is a pivotal moment in history, making a significant shift in the trajectory of the land of the free. If you found today's video insightful and engaging, we encourage you to support our channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.